Hey FlossTube, it's Megan, Georgia Girl Stitching, here for video number 5. It is Sunday, June 14th, 2020. And I of course want to start off by just thanking all of my subscribers, new who are here visiting me for the first time, and of course all of you that have been with me for 4, 3, 2, 1 videos. So really appreciate you all being here and hanging out with me today. I have quite a bit to go over, so buckle up, buckle in, and we'll get started. I do first want to acknowledge all that is happening in the world right now, and that I have been growing and listening and having the conversations, and I want to give my full support in any possible way to the growth and the change that needs to happen. There's a song that came out recently that has been one of my favorites recently. It's called Be a Light by Thomas Rhett. He released it with a bunch of other artists, and the main chorus is, "In a world full of hate, be a light." And so I want to be a light during all of this and support the growth and the change and the listening and all of that. So I just wanted to make that clear. There have been quite a few people in my life the last few weeks who have brought life and light. Forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb again. You'd think I would know by now. But anyway, so yes, I've had lots of people over the last few weeks that have been so wonderful. And so I guess I'll do a life update first. I am in the final countdown of my time here in Cincinnati. This is the last video that will have this background and be in this state. Exactly 2 weeks from today, I officially moved down to Auburn. So there's a beach trip thrown in there in the middle though. So this is my last week of work. The 19th is my last day. The 20th, I head back to Atlanta. One-way flight, and then my parents and I are going straight down to Destin. So we're gonna be there in Okaloosa Island area for a few days, come back through Atlanta, pick up David, and head back up to Cincinnati, pick up a U-Haul, pack up my apartment, say some final goodbyes, and then I officially leave on June 28th and head down to Auburn. So, and since we're kind of in that final countdown, I have been able to meet up with so many wonderful people and kind of have one last hurrah for now. So there have been some stitchy meetups, such as the Stitch Out at Keepsakes, which is so much fun and so needed. I got to see so many people there who I've missed over the last few months, because we haven't had First Fridays. And then the next day went to Lynn's house and met up with Candy and Jen and Susan and had a day there. I've met up with a lot of my outside stitchy friends, had some last times with them, and then met up with Jen and Lenny quite a few times. But it's just been so incredible to see, like, just the wonderful friendships that I've made during this time and that will continue. I mean, I'll definitely be back to Cincinnati, as often as I possibly can make work. And Cincinnati Children's is one of the best children's hospitals in the country. And I don't think I've ever made this clear before, but the physician that I want to become is some sort of pediatric physician. I am not set on a specialty, or if I'll even do a specialty, I might just do pediatrician. I know I don't want to do surgery. I do know that. But other than that, I'm staying open-minded. And so, residency at Cincinnati Children's would be absolutely incredible. So my connection to Cincinnati is not ending. It's just having the home address of Cincinnati is currently going on hold. So because of that, a lot of people have been very generous and very loving, and I'm going to miss them also very much. But because of that, I thought I would start with some stitchy kindness that's kind of brought light to my world. I barely know where to begin. But Lenny, I'll start with Lenny because she, hers came first, I guess. But she sent me a wonderful card that I've already packed. But she sent this stitchy gift. says a token for my friend, and stitched it. It's, I don't remember if this is the Plum Street version or the Heartstring Stapler, but it was like a dual complementary chart. Not free, but there were two that combined and would make. And so the other one actually, Jen actually received from Lenny, the other half. So together, the three of us, you know, are, you know, connected. So this was really sweet. And then we had lunch last week, and Jen had a few things for me. So back in, I guess, March, Candy actually at Stitch Away had an idea for when right after I'd gotten engaged to David. We got engaged back in December. So January was at Stitch Away, and Candy had the idea of having a stitchy bridal shower. You know, with Barbara sponsoring it, and Barbara was all over it, and we had it planned for May 3rd, but obviously that did not happen. So, but before that, when they were trying to like figure out, you know, the details, they had me create a stitchy wish list, kind of like a registry for stitchy things. And I had already sent that to Keepsakes back in March or April. Well, Lenny and Jen and Susan got a hold of that list and then just kind of went through it and found some things and picked those things kind of off the list. I had updated it. They had asked for an update at some point, but it was at a point where I was able to add the Hands-On Design Memorial Day shortly after this came out. And then, so this is from Jen. So Jen gave me that along with the Sulky floss pack. So I've not used Sulkies yet, so I'm really excited to try these. And then when she wasn't sure what kind of fabric I was going to want for it, because I hadn't written that on there, because I didn't know, you know, I hadn't thought that far ahead. And so we all actually met at, Lenny and Susan are running the shop on Saturday. So Jen and I went, I had a list of things that I wanted to get. Jen had some things. So we kind of all met up there, and I picked out fabric for it, and Jen sponsored that as well. But I chose a 32 count Lugana by Fiber on a Whim, believe in the color Cornflower, I believe. So it's this like light teal-ish, trying to find like a skyish blue to kind of put these colors on it to go for this. So because I was thinking like sky, and there is actually literally a fabric called Summer Sky, but that was not available for my count that I would have liked. So yeah, so I got that for, and actually today is Flag Day, and I think there's a Flag Day sale going on. I know Married with Stitches talked about potentially having one today. Haven't seen much else about it, so I'm not quite sure, but I might start it just because and be a part of the mini version of Flag Day sale. So there's that. She also gave me a day at the beach. This was actually on my wish list from Stitchy Linda. So when she showed it, became obsessed. And then she also gave me separate, not necessarily for this pattern, but she also gave me a piece of hand-dyed fabric. I believe she dyed this, Jen did. So my blue, all the blue fabric, I'll take it all. Snag nab it because these are incredible. If you are not sure how to use a snag nab it, because I didn't until I saw this video, Stephanie from Just Keep Stitching actually did a she does her white stitches tutorial on how because hers are always absolutely perfect. So she kind of did a video on how she did that, and that's where I learned about railroading and snag nabbits. So I now have all, but the thing is they're so small, they kind of disappear at times. So I'm always buying more. So she bought me one. She gave me a stitching bird from Heart and Hand with the button. It's so cute. I also love that one on the back too, but the Autumn Skies from Hands-On Design, as well with the finishing felt for it. I saw this last fall and love it, so this will be going into my fall stitching. Silver Creek Sampler's Sweet Cup of Liberty, which is appropriate right now. I love the flag. I love tea and I love patriotic and it's perfect. Love it. And then she said on my wish list there was a group of patterns that had a theme. And so she's like, this wasn't on there, but you might still like it based on the theme. And so it was make poor decisions. What I had on there was Imaginating has a few like beer and wine related stitching patterns. So we are a family that loves craft beer. So this is funny. I appreciate it. And then also there's no place like home because we do love baseball and Braves, which hopefully are starting next week, or at least MLB. Man, I miss baseball. So that was the Stitchy Kindness from Jen. And then Lenny and Susan kind of went in on it together and they continued down the wish list. And so first one was Bringing Home the Tree by Sue Hillis. Kind of a complimentary pattern in a way to Mom's Hello Autumn, which we have not started yet. So but thank you so much to everyone for the wonderful comments. I'm sorry this wasn't at the beginning because it meant to be. Thank you for such the wonderful comments for my mom. She had so fun with it. We had a fun time and we really appreciate all of the really sweet comments. She's had so much fun going through reading them, and she's gonna start commenting back to some of them and everything. So thank you all for such the sweet welcome to my mom. I really appreciate everyone. Quickly adding this in here. So my mom actually has started her Instagram page. So she is Liberty Rose Stitcher, and I will write that down below. And that is where she's going to be posting like her progress on stuff. And but also the biggest announcement of the video is she's actually going to start selling bags. So she has a few of the beach bags, extra fabric for those, and she's gonna also be posting some other kind of bags as well. So make sure to go follow her and keep an eye out so when she starts posting, you can start buying. Thanks, guys. And then goat load, because David loves goats. Goats are great, especially baby goats. Baby goats in pajamas. If you want to see some of the cutest videos, Google baby goats and footsie pajamas. There may be a baby goat in my future. It's same with my dad. My dad loves it too. So we bond over footsie pajama baby goats. But I love goat load. I thought that was really cute. And then this was on my wish list also for my parents too, because they really love this. And when Pam was stitching it, I fell so in love with it. But it's all of the early American patterns. So Betsy Ross, John Hancock, Martha Washington, Nathan Hale, the center block, Freedom, Paul Revere, Abigail Adams, Patrick Henry, and Molly Pitcher. So, and I would do them all like in the one block with the border around it. So very excited about this. Watching Pam stitch it, I was like, I want that so bad. So very, very amazed and just overwhelmed with that. And then this fabric was just kind of on my wish list because I wanted to try it. I've seen a lot of cute patterns that could go on it, and so I had it on as something that I wanted to add to my stash. So 32 count Lagana Petite Point Blue White fabric. I've seen lots, I think it, like a lot of like little cutesy reindeer patterns, and I mean, there's so much that could go on this. So I love having this, and I haven't stitched on it before. So I'm really excited about that. And then the last one, I believe, second to last one, was Shores of Hawker and Hollow, the pattern. I've had this on my wish list for a while too, just because I love the saying, because you know David's in the Navy, and light the way, come what may, the moon above will guide my love while he's away at sea, away from me. My love at sea, I will wait for thee. Beneath the blue of heaven's dome lies the sea that fish call home. The only thing I would change, so this block is like in memory of Lieutenant Jack Pomeroy, anchored in the haven of rest, May 7, 1745. And I Googled it one time and I couldn't find anything like who Lieutenant Jacob Pomeroy or that date. I couldn't find anything about that. So if anyone knows, then let me know. But I might change that to, I have a few ancestors that were in the Navy and that kind of thing. So I might change that up. But I love this pattern. I would do it in this colorway. And then so while I was at Keepsakes on Saturday, I went ahead and got the fabric for it. So, because I want to start this soon. So I got this 32 count platinum because the colors are so pretty that I didn't want to get fabric that took away from too much. So it's just platinum. It's a big piece of fabric. So it was fun. The last thing they did is I bought this pattern off Etsy last year. These like 3 autumn leaves. And I put on my wish list just like the DMC like list for them. And so those are what the colors are going to be. Haven't gotten like fabric or anything for it, but they're so bright and vibrant, and I'm very excited about that. So that, again, added to my fall stitching. So the last bit of stitchy kindness. It's been kind of mixed at this point, but actual stitchy kindness was on Instagram. Stitchy Linda Newton, she and I had kind of really connected over our love for the beach and beach related patterns. And there was one time where she was posting, it was early, I think maybe in April, she was like posting all of her beach related stuff, and I was like in love with all of them and like commenting on all of them. So we kind of started, and then I started FlossTube and everything. So she and I really kind of connected. So she sent me, well, I actually got a text from Stephanie at Keepsakes, like, hey, there's something here for you whenever you can drop by. And I was like, okay. And then there was this blue package, and it had this card in it, which is really pretty. And inside was a kind of business card with 2 gorgeous needle minders on it. Just absolutely gorgeous. So she said she had made these cards for StitchCon that had like kind of her information on it. And I don't know if she wants like all of that info listed. So I'm just gonna show. So that's, her name is Linda Noon, but then her Instagram name is Stitchy Linda. And then these needle minders are just absolutely gorgeous. I already put them on a project and had to go back and grab them to put it back on here because I broke that FlossTube rule. I put them on a project like ASAP. So thank you so much, Linda, for that again. Let me scan over. I think that is all the stitchy kind of. So yes, wonderful friends, and I really appreciate all of you. So now I'll show you some things that I've been stitching over the last few weeks. Since I'm a little delayed in this video. One thing that I have been working on a lot, and it's technically not a new start, but I have restarted it a few times. So Celtic Summer from Lavender Lace. This is the original picture. And in case you're new or haven't watched one of those other videos, I am completely recharting it in DMC, and I'm converting it to what my wedding colors are gonna be, because I'm getting married next June, so in a year. And where it's like teal, Tiffany blue, and navy blue are our wedding colors. So I have like gone through and tried to create a list a couple times of like the different colors. And even last time I had restarted because the teals, like 2 of them just, I didn't feel like had enough difference between them. So when I stitched a tiny little section, I couldn't see a difference. So I tried again, got some different colors, retried, and then I did it again, and it was just not right. I mean, then I was like teals, and I accidentally like randomly threw a blue in there, and it just, on the bobbins, it looked good, but then stitching it did not. So I went to Keepsakes. I was like, Barbara, help. And so we went through, we pulled all of the different colors that it possibly could be, you know, that were in the teal family, Tiffany blue family, pulled those colors, laid them all out, and I needed 6. I needed a variation of 6. So we found 6, I wrote them out, and it was the exact same one I had the very first time I did it. So we literally went back to square A. but it's fine. I was like, okay, but I was like, but Barbara, I'm concerned now because I feel like those before didn't work. When I noticed it, I told her, and so she's like, we need a bigger section. Like, I'd only done a tiny little. She was like, you need to see it in a bigger section together, and then you'll really be able to tell the difference. So that really inspired me. So I went, and this is where I am at on it. And she was totally right. When I finished this whole section, I could see enough of a difference to feel, and you're not wanting like a crazy difference between the two, but enough to know that I didn't stitch, a whole lot. But this is where we're at, and I am absolutely obsessed. I love it so much. I went ahead and did, since I got over here, I went ahead and started these motifs because I wanted to see like what the greens and stuff would look like. So I went ahead and got started with that, and it's just gonna be so pretty. So just to give you an idea of where we're at on it, where did that go? Well, this is her arm. So this is like her arm, her sleeve, and then this is coming down and then there. But along with that, I went ahead, oh, here it is. So I'm here, starting down here. While I was at Keepsakes though, I went ahead and picked out my beads. So because just to, go ahead and get it all officially all kitted up. So the two blues are these colors. Try a good way to show these in my little. So they are numbers 02015 and 03507. Two middle colors. And then the green is 02054. It's kind of bright green. And then, so I knew I needed a white one, but then my accent color is silver. Well, they don't really have silver beads at Mill Hill, so I chose kind of this like clear color. Mostly clear, but it has a little bit of color to it. You can kind of see there. That's 62010. And then the, for the white, kind of like a pearlish kind of color. And that is 03021. So, and then just a reminder too, these are all the colors. And then the silver Petite Treasure braid, those all of them together. So the colors I was most concerned about when I stitched it originally were these two. Oops. Which, on the bobbins you can tell the difference, but then when I was stitching them, I could actually, you had to look, but it was there. So anyway, so yes, finished that. So working on that, I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna keep kind of working on that occasionally. I would like my goals to have that done like by the time we get married next year. So I have a year and 12 days, June 26th. So yeah. And then one of the other ones I worked on was Patchwork Quaker. That's the artist's name. Who was I watching? Someone, I think it was Deb from Country Stitchers. She like whipped that name out, and I tried listening to it again to try and say it correctly, but I don't trust myself. So, but I learned about this one from Shiloh at X Stitch MD, and she just restarted it recently. And we were talking. And she's like, another unofficial Sal with, Georgia Girl. And I was like, doesn't have to be unofficial. We can make it official. So we talked and we came up with the hashtag #CuzQuakers Sal. Because that way, like, anyone who's doing a Quaker can join in our Sal. Because I have a newfound love for Quakers. She has a deep love for Quakers. So anyone who's working on a Quaker and wants to join our #CuzQuakers Sal, more than welcome. So that one. And then where I'm at is I finally got all the way across the top. So that's where we're at. And this is being stitched on 40 count platinum linen from Zweigart. Oh, and then Celtic Summer is on a 28 count Lugana Salt Rock from Classic Color and Cotton. Not Classic, Color and Cotton. But yes, so I got all the way across, finished this corner, which I hadn't finished last time I showed it. And then I just kind of worked on the little motifs ending with the swan. So now I can start on that next row of the Quaker motifs. So this is so fun. I love the colors, and it's just very kind of repetitive because it has, you know, but it just is like, just nice stitching. I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. If you like Quakers, you know what I'm trying to say. So I really enjoy that. I worked a little bit on my hammock at sunset full coverage. It was kind of nice whenever I just needed something, I just want to get a quick 10 by 10 block done, you know, I would pull this out and work on it. So here is where I'm at on that. I'm really loving the diagonal stitching. I feel, when I get one done, I feel productive, you know, and like, so because this isn't a huge piece, you know, a bit happens in each 10 by 10 block. So, you know, we've got the good bit of the hammock started there. So, and this is on a 18 count Fiddler's Ada in light oatmeal. So yeah, so really enjoying that. I was especially working on this occasionally when I really wanted to have a finish for you guys. I really wanted to finish this one, but it has become my travel piece because I, for some reason, just can't force myself to sit down and finish it. And that is Walk on the Beach by Erica Michaels. All I have left to do is to fill in this white stitching all along here and then this entire section up here. And when I sit down and do it, I get a bit done, but so what I was doing was like, I was working on a little bit because I have this whole part down here. So especially down here, I would work a little bit, get really bored, do a block, come back, do a little bit, do another block, you know, to try and just kind of make it a little more going on, you know, because it's just, so what I've decided, I am going to be traveling quite a bit over the next week and a half, including a trip to the beach. So my goal is while we're at the beach, it's a 6-hour, I got to fly to Atlanta, and then we got to drive from Atlanta to Destin. So during that, I'm hoping, and then I got to drive back to Destin, and then I got to drive back from Atlanta to Cincinnati. So there's a lot of travel time in there. I'm hoping that's enough to finish this. It would be really fun to finish this like while I'm at the beach. What's really nice about it is I don't need a pattern because I'm just filling in. So I was, you know, I had a doctor's appointment last week. I was just sitting in the waiting room working on it. I didn't need a pattern or anything. So next time I video, this will be done. I'm saying it here, it will be done. So, because I really love it. I really want to get it like finished and displayed, and fill-in stitching is just, it's hard for me. But that is all the stitching I've done over the last few weeks. But I do have quite a few plans, but my plans and my haul kind of go together. So I showed a little bit of haul along with the kindness, but then I was at Keepsakes yesterday, and it was kind of, it's gonna hurt me to say this, it was kind of one of my last official days at Keepsakes, and for normal times. I do plan to go when my parents and David come up to help me officially move. We do plan to go like that Saturday and, you know, one last time and say goodbyes and all of that. But yesterday was my last like normal day at normal as it could have been, you know, at Keepsakes. So you're allowed to have like a wish bag or like a bag if you find something you like. They were doing, so I had started a bag there for, you know, 2 years ago when I started going, and I was like, you know what, I'm cashing out my bag. So at least the stuff that I still wanted from that bag. So, but my bag, okay, well, it was empty, cashed it out, and then Jen found something, of course, that I liked, and I was like, okay, put that back in the bag, I'll buy that next Saturday. So I essentially emptied my bag while I was there, but I got a few like tool-y kind of things. So I got 2 more, you know, new 8x8 Q-snap, because now that I have more than 2 whips, I need another Q-snap, as well as the 14-inch extension kit. So I have an 11x11, and that's what I use for my Celtic ladies. But when it comes to the metallics and the beading, it gets kind of tight trying to, like, I'd have to do half of her beaded, and then move the Q-snap down and do the other half, but there would always like be a section in the middle that I'd have to hand bead because that's where the Q-snaps kept going. So I'm hoping with this extension kit, like I can put it all in one. It will be big, but it will just be for like the beading and the metallics, and that'll hopefully make my life a little bit easier. So I'm gonna give that a shot for this one. And then that will be nice to know if I can do that because I still have to do spring too, Celtic spring, and Celtic Noel. So I think this is hopefully gonna be helpful for that. I got the little scissors. I forget what they're called, but these little scissors, Stephanie uses them a lot, and dang, these are sharp. I've already bled twice because of these scissors, and I've literally had it for 24 hours. I tried them out last night when I was stitching, and I was trying to actually put the cover on it, and it pricked me. I was like, okay, well now I can't stitch for like 10 minutes. So careful with these if you buy these. A corner gauge, because on quite a few projects now I used to always be a middle starter, but then on the last few projects I've been doing corner starts because that just made the most sense for whatever the project was. So I got one that's a Keepsakes, and that'll make it easier. And then also, you know, it's also a little thread drop needed. So love that. Got a bunch more peels, these little things that go around your Q-snap. Apparently my thing is that every video I have to drop something. So these go like hold your excess fabric around your Q-snap. So I just got, of course, in green and blue, a bunch of those. And then this was in my bag. I attempted to buy this at Stitch Away, but I don't know exactly what happened. But when I went to go cash out my bag at Stitch Away, it was not there anymore. And I don't know if it like had fallen out or something. But then I was looking in my bag and it was in there. So I don't know what happened, but I'm happy to have it. And it is a Stitch Away 2020 needle minder. So I am very happy to have this because I really, really wanted one. So very excited about that. And then I got a few patterns. So I got 3 of the Hands-On Design Chalk Full series with Priscilla Blaine. And I got the Bloom, the Harvest, and the Liberty. I love the flower ones. I mean, they're all cute, but these were my top 3 that I'm not quite sure though if I'm gonna do it on black. I haven't quite thought through. I like it on black, but I'm not sure. I've also seen some people do it on like a coffee tea dyed kind of fabric, and those are really pretty. Especially, I think it's a Stitch for Mom. Caitlin, she does it. I think hers is more of a neutral colored fabric, and that's really pretty. So I'm gonna I have to think about those, but I really like those. I did buy the Celtic Spring from Lavender Lace. Go ahead and get that on the docket. I have not figured out how I'm gonna convert this one yet. Again, that Facebook group has a few conversions listed, but they're not quite me. So I'm gonna have to probably do my own again. This Celtic summer has been good practice for this one, so I'm still trying to figure out what my color palette will be. But I did go ahead and get the pattern, so I can get started on that. And then this is not from Keepsakes, but it was taken to Keepsakes. But I got the Cross Stitch for the Soul Emma Congdon book. I've seen it. I think I saw Steph show it the first time. So this is Stitcherovia. She's the designer for Stitcherovia, and I love Stitcherovia. I mean, some of my favorite patterns are from her. So I wanted to get it, but I was like, I couldn't see what the patterns were, and you know, you kind of have that hesitation. So I was watching Gulf Coast Stitches, Julie, and her daughter Sarah was on, and she's stitching one of them out of here, and I was like, okay, I gotta get the book now. I gotta do it because the pattern she was stitching was a smooth sea never made a skillful sailor. And I happen to know a sailor who, in these colors, and I actually showed it, I sent it to David. I was like, what do you think? And he was like, buy it. So I'm really excited about this one. So that's the one I'm definitely gonna do. But just to kind of give you, if anyone else, I thought about maybe doing like a flip through of something because I haven't seen someone do that yet. But actually, because she's amazing, this is all of them. There's 20, I believe. Make sure it's in the right. So you can kind of see all the ones that, I mean, they're all gorgeous. So, but that kind of gives you a good idea. So if you're considering getting this book, there are some great ones in here. And actually it was funny. So I showed David the one next to it, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And I was visiting him. This is back at the end of May. And, I was helping him move into our house, I guess really was what was happening. But I was showing him that, and we were drinking margaritas during that moment. And he was like, do you think you could change that to when life gives you limes, make margaritas? I was like, that's a lot of recharting. I don't know. I was like, but I'll think about it. I'll get to it. Kind of did that kind of thing. And then literally the next week, she released this. Take life with a pinch of salt, a wedge of lime, and it's shot of tequila. And so I sent him a picture of this. I was like, will this suffice? And he was like, yes. So I went ahead and bought this one. It's so colorful and fun. We have in the house that we're renting from actually a couple that just graduated. So when they moved to Auburn, they bought a house. And then they were graduating. They were like, hey, we'd love to keep this in the VCOM family if anyone's, looking for it. And they were like, yes. So this is kind of fun. But where they have like a section, like a bar area. So this would look really good like in that bar area where there will theoretically be tequila. So I went ahead and I actually already kitted this one up because I do want to start this kind of soon just because it's fun and colorful. And so these are the colors, very bright and cheerful as a lot of hers are. And I'm putting it on 40 count Newcastle Platinum. Because I don't want it's so colorful in so many colors. I didn't want to pick a fabric that would take away from any of them or hide any of them. So I just got the platinum, which is kind of what she shows in the photo. I don't even know. The recommended fabric color is cream or parchment. So platinum kind of fills that. So yeah, so that's all kitted up now. And actually, to quickly just go back to the Seiler one, while I was there, I went ahead and also kitted that up. Well, mostly kitted up. They didn't have some of the DMC colors I needed. So these are some of the colors. And I'm doing it on 40 count flax. These are big patterns, so 40 count makes it a little bit more manageable. But yeah, so 40 count flax. Flax and platinum have seriously become two of my favorite fabrics. As well as like the mallow, but these two is like, it's just so clean, I guess. I don't know. It's just nice. So those are kitted up. Sorry for the crinkle. I ran out of project bags for all of my kitting up. I guess kitting up and all of my whips have taken up all of my project bags. So I'm back to the Ziploc bags for my kitted up things. Don't worry, Mom's working on helping me out with that. But in the meantime, the other big thing, and this is actually something that is a plan, because soon to be plan. Because I had someone reach out to me. She was saying that she asked me if I'd seen the newest tiered tray from Madame Chantilly. And the latest one, I'd just seen the 4th of July one. I was like, do you mean the 4th of July one? She's like, no. So I went to Madame Chantilly, and she had literally just released Celebrate Summer. And it is literally me in a tier tray. The way I described it was like, it's as if Madame Chantilly, Rosanna, literally said, hey Megan, what do you want charted on a tray to indicate summer? And she charted my dream. Like, I have become completely obsessed with this pattern, but it was just released. I immediately called Keepsakes. I was like, hey, have you ordered this? Like, yeah, we've already ordered it. It's on the way. We'll set one aside for you. And Stephanie said that she expected it to come Friday or Saturday of this past week. And I was like, perfect. So when I was out there on Saturday, I was like, Lenny, where's the Hoffman order? Where's Celebrate Summer? I was like, all excited. She's like, so I have some bad news. And I was like, what? And apparently it's very popular and it's already back ordered. So I was like, Okay. So I actually was on Etsy. I went to her thing just to kind of, I wanted to see if I could at least get the DMC list. And so I could at least go ahead and get the DMC list kitted up. And I actually messaged her and got the DMC list. But then I noticed, she said below on the item description, she's awesome, by the way. She's very responsive on Etsy. She's wonderful, and even more wonderful for the fact that she does offer it as a PDF chart. So it's not an Etsy listing for a PDF chart, but if you message her like, hey, I was wondering if I could get Celebrate Summer as a PDF, she is more than happy to do so. She sends you a PayPal invoice, and then once you pay the invoice, this literally happened this morning. So I have not received it yet from her. I'll insert a photo of what it's gonna look like though, the Celebrate Summer. But she is gonna like do the watermarks and everything, and then she's gonna send me a PDF pattern. And the reason I'm being so impatient about this, because Megan, just wait for it to come in, it'll be fine. I am being impatient because, so my birthday is this Wednesday, June 17th. I'll be turning 24. And because that pattern is so me, it's summertime, like I want that to be my birthday start. And yes, I could choose something else, but like, it's what I want, you know? So and if it hadn't been an option to get a PDF, I would have obviously lived and found something else. But because it was an option, I was like, I'm willing to make this work. So she's hopefully she said it'll take her just a little while and she'll send it to me. So I did go ahead and order that. So I was able to kit it up. I actually kitted it up because of Susan and Lenny. One of the other things they gave me was the DMCs for Celebrate Summer. So, which is awesome, or at least most of them. And then even more perfect. So I'm doing Beachcomber on 40 count mallow. But when I got it from 123 Stitch, I ordered like a big, one of the 18 by 27 standard piece. And when it came in, I cut it down to size for the Beachcomber. Well, when I did the math for Celebrate Summer, the fabric size I needed was exactly the size I had left from Beachcomber. So it will be done, like literally this is what I had written before, and I just crossed out and put Celebrate Summer because this is what I'm doing it on. So this is how big the tiered tray is gonna be. It's gonna be big. Even on 40 count, it's big. And then all the colors on it. But what I love about the mallow, and this is what I loved about it for Beachcomber, is that it has that like oatmeal Ada look to it, which is very like sandy, beachy to me, which is why I love it. So, yep, so I'll be doing it on this on the 17th. And I had an idea, the 17th is just 3 days, so this might be too short of notice, but I was thinking about maybe doing like a birthday sal, but calling it Celebrate Sal. So if you have any of the tier trays, sounds like summer's hard to get, but if you have any of them and you want to work on them or need a reason to start them or something, then feel free to join me on my birthday on Wednesday and do hashtag Celebrate Sal. Because I have so much to celebrate right now. I mean, there are, of course, hard things going on in the world, but this is a huge transition time for me personally, and celebrating the end of a wonderful chapter here in Cincinnati where I can't even begin to be as, so grateful for all that's happened in the last 2 years here, but also celebrating my next chapter and starting my career and living with my fiance and future husband and, just like moving closer to home again. And there's just so much to celebrate. So many relationships that I've made and so many relationships that I'm going to make. And so I felt like Celebrate was a appropriate Sal name for that. And so Celebrate Summer will be started on that day. So feel free to join me. Hashtag it, all the fun things. And then, let's see. I think that's all of the haul and plans. So my main 2 plans are Celebrate Summer, my birthday on Wednesday, and finish Walk on the Beach while I'm at the beach the following week. So we'll see. We'll see if that works. And then, things might, I was telling Lenny, one thing I've learned about me though, so this could get dangerous, is that if things are kitted, things want to be started. So it's hard for me to know that like I have a whole thing kitted and it's not started, which is how I got into the predicament that I am currently in with my more than normal amount of WIPs, which are nowhere near to being finished. So it's not like I can whittle those down anytime soon because I just started them. 2 of them are full coverage. So yeah, more things might be started. I might, if I get in one of those moods again, you know, we'll see. We'll see what actually happens. But 2 other things I want to talk about. So one of them is one of the things that we talked about in my video with my mom was about kind of finding stitching groups in Atlanta and Georgia and North Atlanta Metro, you know, but all over as well, and got tons of responses from that, and really appreciate. I've had a few people reach out to me with different options that are possible, and the first one is Marianne from Sanctum Stitching actually reached out and commented below. There is the Embroiders Guild of America is the overarching guild for not just cross stitch, but embroidery in general. And I know Fawn and Marianne are really involved in the one up in Toledo, and it sounds like an amazing group and do a lot of really fun things. Well, there is a chapter in Atlanta called the Dogwood chapter, and I will put all the information below for if you're interested in joining that. They meet occasionally. It doesn't have it. She didn't have it listed, but there's a website you can go to, and also an email for the president, Lynette Maton. Sorry. There's an email listed for that. So if you're interested in that, that's definitely an option. The other one is the Sampler Guild of Georgia. Mountain View. They meet every 3rd Sunday at 2 p.m. Don't know when they're actually going to start that up again, but in normal times and post all of this, they meet at the Mountain View Library in Marietta, and I will put the contact email below for Doris Bing, that's the contact information I was given if you're interested in that. It's $25 dues for every year, so it's not a huge thing. But they meet, and then there is a Facebook group, and that, I need to get the name of it again. But there's already a Facebook, because I had a couple people reach out to me saying like, well, why don't we start a Facebook group for Georgia or Atlanta people? And I will link that below, the Facebook group. And it sounds like it's very active. Mom's already a part of it. So, and that, I think that would probably be, if you're not wanting to like join a guild or anything like that and just want to meet up with friends and find different people in your area, that's probably the best way to go about it. And I will link that group below for the Facebook. I think you have to answer a couple questions, but that's typical for these kinds of groups. And then within there, I think you can find people that would be willing to reach out. I know Pam and Steph actually last week, or 2 weeks ago, I'll link the video below, but they do their Stitch Harmony, where, you know, they pick someone who's looking for a stitching group. And the one they chose a couple weeks ago was a girl from Atlanta. So, or person from Atlanta. So and I know people have been commenting on there too. So I'll link that video too, that you can go and watch and see if there's the people list, you know, where they are in Georgia, and find a group there. So really hoping that I can help. I mean, I won't be that far from Georgia. Auburn's just on the other side of the border. So, and Mom, I know, is definitely very eager to get involved in some groups and everything. So hopefully be able to find some meetups and find some new friends, stitchy friends, because they are the best. Stitchy friends are the best. So yeah, so however I can help continue with that. One other thing was that I actually was contacted by mybobbin.com. They reached out to me asking if I'd be willing to review some, like their business essentially, which I've heard about them from a few other floss tubers. I know from Pam, Stitching Between the Lines. I know she uses them, and then the Steel City Stitchers, I know they really love them. So I'd already heard about them, so it's like, yeah, but I had not personally tried it out yet and gone to their website or anything. So I looked through their website, and wow, there are so many options. Their website is incredible for the amount of patterns and PDF downloads, and, you know, especially right now, it's hard to, it was harder, but still, you know, it's very convenient to be able to just get a PDF download of your pattern, you know, and not have to wait for shipping or anything, especially from overseas. So that was awesome. They're very nice, very sweet people, and I'll insert photos of the patterns that I chose. I have not had a chance to print them out yet, so I don't have like a review on any of that yet, but there are 3 different wreaths for different seasons, so you'll see those kind of flash up on the screen, but really, really happy to kind of be collaborating with them a little bit. So they seem great. So there's that. And now, the thing we've all been waiting for, I did not forget, it is happening. There was a giveaway on my last video for my 1,000 and 2,000 subscriber, which I'm now almost at 3,000, but there is not another giveaway for that yet because I have not hit 3,000 and don't know what that will look like. But the mom donated 2 bags for her, for me to give away. She donated them. One of them is the beach bag, to remember. The back, the seashells, the footprints, and then inside were more of the seashells, and then dolphin zipper pull. So we did, Mom and I Zoomed this morning and did random comment picker generator, and the person who won the beach bag is Vanessa Armani, and she had a really fun comment. So Vanessa, this is yours, so please contact me. My email's listed below. Please send me your address, and I will be sure to get this out to you. And then the other bag was the Georgia bag. And then the zipper pull is the dog, and then inside was same fabric but reversed. So this is fun. This giveaway was so fun. I have a very long list of bucket list beach places now. Thank you all. I now every time I go somewhere, I'll be like, hey, is there a beach nearby that someone suggested? I clearly need to get to Hawaii, Cannon Beach in Oregon, Italy, Spain, and more in the Caribbean. I have, buckle up, David, we're going, because this sounds like the amount of people that suggested those different places, like I'm very excited. So thank you all so much for that. And then hearing everyone's, people who entered this one for their connection to UGA was really fun. So, and this one goes to Renee Gladney, who used UGA's library quite a bit when she was in college. So Renee, to remember your time in UGA's library, here is a bag for you. So yes, everyone, please email me your address, and I will be honest with you, with everything going on through the end of June, these probably will not be shipped out until July, just because I gotta, receive your address, get them packaged. I'm gonna be packing like a fiend and seeing, all these new, still seeing my friends, and kind of, there's a lot going, we're traveling. So just to be completely honest, it probably will not get shipped to you before the end of June. But sometime in July, you'll have a very nice surprise. So yeah, so that was really fun. And thank you so much to everyone who entered. I'm very close to 3,000. So I really appreciate anyone who has shouted me out recently. This has been so incredible. I've already made so many new friends from this platform, and I really am so grateful for all of the support, all of the kind words. Every time someone sees a beach or wine pattern, I get tagged, and I am very grateful, but also like such a long wish list now. So no, if you see something that reminds you of me, I love seeing that stuff too. And I haven't been posting a lot lately, but I will be getting on that again, hopefully. And love interacting. So feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and just keep spreading, what do they say? Keep spreading that stitchy love, and everyone just, this has been such an incredible time in my life, and really reflecting a lot, and just very grateful. So I think that's all I have for this time around. This was a long one again, so a lot going on, but I will be back probably the first week of July, and that's when, you'll see a very different background. So I have no idea what that's gonna look like in Auburn, but yeah, so signing off from Cincinnati for the last time, and hope you all have a wonderful week and get a lot of stitching in. See you soon.